Hey everyone, and today I'll be going into depth of the wrist joint. So I'll be covering the components of the wrist joint and the types of injuries that with having a wrist and playing sports or whatever happens that causes injuries in the wrist. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
The wrist is an important joint that joins the hand and the forearm together. The wrist consists of a variety of 8 small bones and 2 long bones in the forearm. Fun fact, the scaphoid bone is the most injured bone in the wrist. The small bones are also called the carpal bones, and they are made up of 8 little bones that enhance the strength and agility of the bone. If you look on the left, the scaphoid bone, the one that's most injured, is an example of these small little 8 bones. The long bone consists of the ulna and the radius. They move in a pronation and supination way in which the radius turns around the ulna. The ulnar styloid process is a bony projection at the end of the ulna and aids in the flexibility and movement of the wrist and forearm. These 3 ligaments are the most key ligaments to the wrist. The palmar radiocarpal ensures that the hand follows the forearm during supination. The ulnar collateral works with other ligaments to prevent lateral joint displacement, and the radial collateral prevents lateral joint displacement. There are several muscles that make up the wrist and do a variety of things to help the wrist, such as the flexor pollicis longus, which helps you bend the tip of your thumb. The flexor digitorum profundus helps to bend the index, middle ring, and small fingers, and the superficialis helps you bend the middle joint of each finger except the thumb. The brachioradialis helps to twist the forearm so your palm is facing either up or down. The flexor carpi radiolysis helps you bend the wrist and move towards the thumb. The palmaris longus helps to bend the wrist, and the extensor pollicis brevis helps to straighten the thumb. The tendons connect the muscles to the bone, where the flexor tendon attaches the muscles in the forearm to the bones in the fingers. Thus, when the muscles are contracted, the tendons bend the fingers. The extensor tendons are compartments of the wrist that extend the wrist and fingers and the thumb. From spiking to arm passes to volleys, volleyball players are constantly using their wrist as a primary tool to playing volleyball. Needless to say, we are constantly using our wrist joint in daily life, such as brushing our teeth, eating food, drinking, texting friends, knocking on the door, and opening the door, as well as turning the wheel while driving. Click on Part 2 to learn about the types of wrist injuries and how to recover.